Say good afternoon or good day to each and every one of us from wherever you're joining us from. We hope our day went well as planned. So we welcome each and every one to the technical series, the first technical series of the year 2026. This day, 18th of July 2026. First of all, to bring to our notice, we want each and every one of us to register our presence in the chat box by sending in our names and locations from which we are joining us from. Please let's endeavor to do that. We want to have a record of whoever is joining us on the call, your name and the location that you're joining. Without further ado, I will go straight to the program. What's a technical series? We want to, if you simply put, a technical series is a career acceleration program. According is a program that is brought to us by the career and professional team of the Cable organization. If you simply put it, it's a career acceleration program. It helps us to balance the theoretical classroom knowledge we have been through the normal undergraduate classroom. And now we are trying to build our professional life. What are the things that we need to put in place? What are the things outside of the normal classroom knowledge that we have to put in place? Those are what the technical series of to brings to us. It gives us the exact tools and technical skills, the real world and industrial insight that you and I need to win in the real world. So that's what Cable is all about. We hope to connect people. We hope to bring people together, as the word Cable itself stands for. Cable stands to connect people, to connect individuals to opportunity. Every episode of our past technical series has focused on single high-stake professional asset. Tonight will not be any different. Tonight we are kicking off with the ultimate career gatekeeper, which is building a resume that gets interview call. Tonight is a CV workshop. When we are all done with our graduates, with our undergraduate programs, the next thing is to go to the labor market. What are the things that put us up, that connect us to that life-changing career, to that career that will be hoping to get into? The first thing that brings us in connection with our employers is our CV. I will simply put it that our CV is our first email, it's our first point of contact. So how are we positioning ourselves? How do we position ourselves to get into better careers? Those are the things that we are bringing towards this evening. The program is a 90-minute part program. It promises to be educating, promises to be informative, and then you will also want to attest to us, to some of us that have been in the program in time past. You know that we have always brought in distinguished speakers, people with verifiable standings, people who have done so well with their lives. So we are bringing them to us this evening. Tonight's promises to be another edition. We are telling us that this evening we need to just come in, to be enlightened, to position ourselves for better opportunities. I remain my humble self, Kolawole Timothy Oluwasegun. I'm a Cable ambassador, and on behalf of the leadership, I want to really appreciate the leadership of the Cable organization, and also the career and professional team for this opportunity to stand before you this evening, to be the one to be the moderator of this program. Please, I also want us to confirm to me that we can hear me loud and clear with our best emoji. All right. Thank you everyone for that opportunity. Thank you everyone for that. So without further ado, I want to step aside for the individual that will take the safety brief this evening, Mr. Opara Kings. Mr. Opara Kings, are you on the call with us?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Good evening, everyone.
All right. The floor is all yours, sir.
Okay. My name is King Opara, a Cable ambassador. Okay, quick one on the safety moment. So please ensure your mic is muted. If you have questions, endeavor to raise your hands. Also make use of the comment and question icon on the Google Meet. So for those of us in the workspace currently probably on a shift, please ensure you can still hear the fire alarm with your headset. If you are also cooking, also try to be conscious of your environment at the moment. So be on alert and generally be aware of your environment. And lastly, endeavor to stay safe. Thank you very much.
All right, people, that's the most important thing. As much as we want you to be mindful of what we are doing here, we also want to be mindful of your environment. As the saying goes, safety first. It's important for you to be safe wherever you are joining us from. So keep in touch with your environment as much as you are in touch with us here. So the next item on our agenda this evening is who we are at Cable. If anybody asks you who we are at Cable, we at Cable are a non-profit making organization with a vested interest in the development of African youth. The Cable acronym, the CABLE stands for, the C stands for Cable, the C stands for career, the A and B stands together for academic building, the L stands for leadership, and the E stands for enterprising. Together, they make a couple of career, academic building, leadership, and enterprising youth initiative. It is a registered African Youth Empowerment Organization that was founded in 2018 by our founder, Mr. Emmanuel Obasi, that is dedicated to the shaping of the next generation of leaders, scholars, and innovators. So if anybody asks you who came, who are, we are bringing it to you this evening that we are a non-profit or making organization. We have a vested interest in the development of African youth. And so we have many programs within our endeavors. Since 2018, we've evolved until now we are still in the business of connecting youths with opportunities. Such programs include, but not limited to, the Graduate School Conference, the Case Symposium, the Women in Tech Outreach, the Party Get campaign, the GRA Scholarship Team, and the technical series, one of which we are here, one of which is what brought us here this evening. Our mission has evolved over time, but is still in line with what we are funded to do. We have come together to equip African youth with the tools, the mentorship, and the opportunities needed to achieve academic excellence, building meaningful careers, and becoming transformative leaders wherever we find ourselves. Our visions over time remain unchanged. We are a generation, we are committed to building a generation of empowered youth that leads innovation, that are driving sustainable development and are shaping the future of the continent and beyond. So our core values also remains unchanged. It remains rigid and unchanged. We have an high impact driven services. We do not just bring people together just for bringing them together for bringing together sake. We bring together and we measure outcome. We don't just bring together for activities. We make sure that every program must demonstrate tangible results. Excellence and professionalism is also another core value that we tend to uphold. We maintain high standards in delivery. We treat every initiative as a product worth perfecting. And permits me to mention that I am not the only one that is anchoring this program this evening. I have other technical individuals that are working behind the scenes. I want to say good kudos to them this evening for putting on the show. Another of our core values that we stand to maintain is equity and inclusion. We provide access, fairness, respect for all, with no barriers to opportunities. Another core values of ours is growth and lifelong learning. We are committed to the technical growth, research capacity, and continuous improvement of youth all over the world. That is one of the reasons we are making the technical series to each and every one of us this evening. This is the first edition of the 2026 of the year 2026. There are more other technical series, there are more other episodes that are coming, and we hope you would like to keep in touch with us for other exciting episode that is to come. Another core values of ours is leadership with integrity. We do not just stand behind the crowd. We step out boldly and we lead with integrity. We uphold character and accountability that define our approach to services. And then the last but not the least is community collaboration. We part time seems to collaborate with our community, whether it is the present Nigerian landscape or African landscape or the entire worldwide as a whole. We are committed to contributing to the life of individuals. We don't just stand on titles alone. We want to ensure that we succeed and we bring others to succeed with us. So if anybody asks you, those are the things that we stand for as a group. We are capable. We are a non-profit making organization. We are growing, and we are capable. We aim to connect people to life-changing opportunities. So I will also want to step aside once again for the opening remark, which is to be taken by the director of the career and professional team of the Capable organization. Mr. Femi, are you on the call with us this evening, sir?
Yes, Timothy, I'm on the call. Thank you very much. Thanks. Please, can anyone confirm if you can hear me? All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that feedback. Yeah, so let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever we're joining the call from, and welcome. My name is Femi, and I happen to be the director of the Career and Professional Development for Cable. And I'm really glad that all of us are here today. So whether maybe you found out about the workshop through a friend or a flyer, or probably you just happened to see the links and you were like, why not? So we're glad that you made the time. So just a quick one. Here is the thing about a CV. It's usually the very first impression that someone has of you before that interview, before a handshake, or even before anyone will hear your voice, or even probably evaluate how you think on your feet. All right, there's that document that is doing all of the talking for you. And the honest truth is that most times it can feel like a lot of pressure, especially if you're not sure of what makes a strong CV, or even probably you sent out applications and you had nothing back and you started to wonder what you're doing wrong. So today, this particular session, we will be taking some of that mastery out, or let me even say some of the anxiety out of the whole process. So in the next over the next 45-50 minutes, we are going to be walking through what actually makes a CV work, how to structure it, what to highlight, common mistakes, and all of that, whatever the experience will look like. And we'll try to make all of that process easy for each and every one of us. So a couple of things before we dive in. I would say let us be open to ask questions. If something is not clear to us, chances are the fact that somebody will be in the room who is wondering the same thing. So this kind of works best as a conversation, not just a lecture. But we'll still want to keep everything moderated. And maybe lastly, I will just implore each and every one of us to be kind to ourselves. A lot of us carry that self-doubt around their CVs, like probably it needs to be perfect or it needs to impress everyone. So I believe you just need to represent you clearly and honestly as much as possible. So once again, I want to thank each and every one of us for being here. So let's get us started. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir, Mr. Femi, for that wonderful opening remark. As you've heard from him, tonight's episode is basically an invite to come be dressed your CV. He said in his word that our CV is our first image, it's our first impression. So you are needing us this evening, you are bringing us together this evening to see through the lens of a seasoned human resources manager so that we can have a better imaging. You should trust us so well that we always bring in distinguished speakers, people that have a good standing, that have verifiable standard in the working world. So this night will not be a difference. Permit me to delve away from the line of program and to also inform us that if you want further information about who we are at Cable, we can just head on to our official website www.teamcable.org. A lot of our programs are on there, those that are past and those that are still upcoming. So without further ado, without wasting much of our time, I we want to introduce our distinguished speaker this evening. Our distinguished speaker this evening is Madam Faith Joyce Igbanoi. Madam Faith Joy Igbanoi is the head of business administration and human resources at World Energies Services Limited. He is a human resources and operations professional with several years of experience supporting organizational growth through effective people management, structured processes, and efficient administrative systems. In her role, Faith oversees human resource and administrative operations across the organization, ensuring smooth internal coordination and operational efficiency. She is responsible for the workforce planning, recruitment, onboarding, and the development and implementation of HR policies that promote accountability, compliance, and a productive work environment. Faith is a certified human resource professional and a member of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Nigerian branch, reflecting her commitment to professional standards and continuous development in the field of human resources management. She is skilled in employee relations, staff coordination, and organizational administration, and she is known for building structured systems that support team performance, improve workplace organization, and align human resources strategies with business objectives. Through her work, Faith contributes significantly to strengthening workplace culture and supporting the continued growth and efficiency of the organization. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to us this evening Mrs. Faith Joy Igbanoi. Good evening, madam. Are you on the call with us?
Good evening, Mr. Timothy. I'm right here. Please confirm you can hear me.
All right, we can hear you loud and clear. I will just stand aside. The floor is all yours, ma'am.
All right. Good evening. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And a big thank you to the Cable team. Thank you to Mr. Femi for following me up until now. I am so honored to be here. I don't need to introduce myself again. After that very interesting introduction, we can just go straight to the point. Now, it's just like Mr. Femi said, your CV is the first thing, it's first impression, right? They say first impressions matter. And the truth of the matter is that not everybody really has the time to look through thousands of CVs to be sure they are getting the best candidates. I can tell within 30 seconds if I actually want to hire someone or not. And it's just by what we see in the CV. Now, even if you are a professional, like you are so good, but you do not know how to really articulate what you do in your CV, the tendency for you to actually miss the opportunity is very large, right? So I'm going to try my best. I know that 40 minutes is not enough to delve into this. There's a whole lot to this whole CV thing, but I'm going to try my best to explain some things. And I want to put you in my shoes, so you also will be the judge and know how best we handle things like this. All right. Please give me a second. Let me share my screen. Okay, so today I'll be looking at beyond the CV, right? Beyond the CV, what recruiters really look for. Beyond the CV, what recruiters really look for. Now, I personally go through a lot of CVs, right? Over the last, let's say 1 month. Please confirm you can see my screen. Okay, thank you very much. I go through a lot of CVs. Over the past 1 month, my company has been trying to hire for a particular role. And we got, I'm not even exaggerating, we got close to 10,000 CVs. The first day we put it up, I got like, just not first day, let's say first hour, I got like over 1,000 CVs. And I was shocked, like, how am I supposed to start going through all these things, right? CVs come. Everybody sends out their CVs just so, I can put myself out there. You can see me. Let's just best believe that I'm being selected and all that. But it's not just about sending the CV. It's about sending the right CV. It's about sending what we basically when the person looks at it and the person sees it and the person will be like, wow, this person can actually offer me value, right? So it's not just I have one CV, let me just send out. Oh, there's this what's it called, role I just saw online, let me just apply. No, I'm going to try my best to be explaining a couple of things, because there's one mistake that almost everybody makes. You apply for even things that you're not supposed to apply for just because you're looking for a job. That's something we should also take note of. Yes, we know the country is hard. Things are hard, and people are looking for jobs and all that and all that. But please, if you have no business sending your CV to some companies for roles that you do not know how to perform, please don't send your CV, because you're just wasting your time. All this talk of, oh, for example, let's say a company is looking for an electrical engineer, and you don't even have an engineering degree. Let's say you studied English. You say, oh, let me just send my CV. Who knows? There's nothing that God cannot do. Let me just send my CV. You're wasting your time. There's no need, right? So let's just know how to properly format your CV, know how to really structure it in order to get the attention that it needs. All right. So there are different segments to my presentation. I'll be looking at beyond the CV, how recruiters really evaluate candidates, common mistakes, what costs candidates, interviews, and offers, and then writing a standout CV, CV principles and beating the ATS system. And lastly, interview confidence, preparation, and communication that wins offers. Okay. I would try and make out time to evaluate one CV. Oh, you can't see my screen.
Yeah, I was about to call your attention to that, ma'am.
I think it's
Please help us
network.
to work on your screen again.
It's network. It's
Oh,
network. Please just hold on. Let me try again. All right. Please, can you confirm once again? Can you see it now? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Network here is not really stable. Okay, let's begin. So we'll be starting with beyond the CV, how recruiters evaluate candidates. Now, there's something you need to understand, right? Your CV, it gets you noticed. Okay, your CV gets you noticed, but it does not get you hired. Do you understand that? Your CV will get you noticed. You're sending it out, right? Yes, we've seen that. Oh, James has sent his CV. Okay, we've seen it, but it does not automatically give you the job, because recruiters are evaluating a couple of things. And there are 3 layers that we evaluate, and most candidates need to know this in order to optimize their CVs properly. And these 3 layers are competence. This asks the question, can you do the job? So I can tell this from your CV in terms of skills, in terms of experience, in terms of qualifications. These are meant to be in your CV. Okay, competency. It asks the question, what can you actually do? Can you actually do the job? We're talking about your skills, your experience, and your qualification. This is what your CV should carry. The next thing is character. I can tell your character from an interview just by having, in fact, just by seeing you and then you open your mouth to talk for 15 seconds, I can already tell if this person has a problem or this person is, is actually a stable person. By your demeanor, by how you behave. Trust me, all those things are important. It's not just you are good. Oh, I know the job very well. I have 20 years experience. Your character is very important also, okay? Because this tells me if I can trust you, if I can manage you, if I can put you in front of clients and colleagues. It tells about your communication skill, your integrity, and if you're actually teachable and coachable. Okay, it's very important. Don't be deceived by people that tell you, oh, just know the job, you are good to go. You are not good to go. If you do not have a sound attitude, you will not make, okay, let me put it this way. Competence and skill can get you the job, but you see, character will keep you there. People that have stayed like 10, 15 years in companies and all that, if you go and ask, do a background check, you find out what kind of person is this guy that's actually stayed here for a very long time. What kind of person is it? They'll tell you, oh, man, this guy is very good. Apart from the fact that he's good at what he does, he has a very sound character. It is very important. And also, cultural fit. So are you fit to be in this our environment? In terms of our team structure, our company values, the industry space, right? How are you able to fit in? Because you have to be able to fit in. If you cannot fit in, there are some things. There's a way the company, let's say like my own company now, I try my best to ensure that I maintain a very, I brace, how do I put it now? I encourage bonding between the team. I encourage, everybody expressing themselves and all that. But if you come into the space and then you want to show that, oh, you are a one-man soldier, you are a loner, you want to do everything, you can't live. You can't actually survive there, because that's not the culture of the company. That's not the environment that we are, that we're building. So you need to be able to find out also if you are fit for that company. It's not, oh God, Father, give me a job. Give you a job, there are a whole lot of things, because some people have actually gotten jobs and then after 1 week they've left because they're not able to fit in. So all these things are very important. Okay, now back to the CV. A brilliant CV with poor communication skills is a very big red flag. A brilliant CV with poor communication skills is a very mighty red flag. It's not a strength. Don't worry, we'll get into this later. This is important because it tells me if you actually know what you're doing. Because the thing is, we're not hiring the document, we're hiring you. We're hiring the human being, right? You are the one that's going to represent the company. So I'm not hiring what you said on paper, I'm hiring you. Do you understand? Now, many Nigerian companies, organizations like the oil and gas sector, they take soft skills, composure under pressure, their technical skills, they are really weighed as heavy, right? In most of these sectors, the oil and gas, some consulting sectors are very skilled. The skilled sectors actually see most of these things as very key. We'll get to find out more about this eventually as we progress. I hope my screen is still showing while I go to the next one. Okay, let's try and move very fast. Okay, common mistakes. Let's move very fast. Common mistakes. Now, I picked out these 5 common mistakes because they are the mistakes that I have been seeing continuously. They are the mistakes I have been seeing continuously. The first one is, okay, I call it the recruiter's red flag lists, right? Now, when a CV is generic, it is a one-size-fits-all application. It is sent to dozens of companies. You are sending it to 50 different companies with no tailoring. This is a very huge red flag. Let me explain. I work in the oil and gas sector, right? So I employ, majority of people that I employ are engineers, Okay, so let me say I'm recruiting an electrical engineer, and I don't know, I'm using James, but if you are James here, please no offense. And James is looking for a job. James has one CV. James has sent CV to MTN as customer service. James has sent CV to NLNG as operations manager. James has sent CV to what's it called? Glow as customer service. And then James wants to now apply to my own company and is still sending me the same CV. You have to, what exactly are you applying for? Are you applying for an electrical engineering role, or are you applying for customer service role? You have to tailor it exactly to what we are looking for. You can't use one CV to apply everywhere. So even as you're applying as your operations manager, it is what you used in your customer service CV. That's what's going to be there. Oh, James. Sorry, James, for using you. You know, it's what you're still going to be using. You have to be able to tailor your CV. Okay? Don't worry, I'll give you, I have different examples we're going to use. Let me just try and run fast. Now, the second thing is vague achievements. So you see things like manage the team, sold to several companies, developed or recruited recruited plenty staff. No numbers, no outcome, no specifics. It's just one word, monosyllabic words, one phrase. Manage the team, recruited 5 people. You have to explain what it is that you did, what outcome it actually produced. You have to be specific. You can't just give stuff like that. You understand? It's going to show that you don't actually know what you are doing like that, Sha. It's obvious. The third thing is cluttered formatting. Okay, this is poor formatting. So there are inconsistent fonts. You use, let's say, use Calibri for the heading. You use New Time Roman this thing for your name. You use Arial Black for the experience. You now use another one for no. You have to use one format for everything. Okay. The walls of the text, there has to be a clear structure. Okay, all these things matter. I will explain why it matters. No research on the company. Next thing is no research on the company. You can't answer why here. All you're just saying is, I need a job. Okay, you're not saying in the CV why you should actually be hired. Yes, it's important you say it there. Because people like me that I'm going through 5,000 CVs and then all I'm saying is jargon. I will just throw your CV away. You're even helping me. What people don't understand is that the more you throw out poor CVs, the easier it is for them to just filter you out. It's very easy. In fact, I'm even looking for bad CV. Let me just throw you out so I can move on. Do you understand? So these things are actually very, very important. And the last one is unprofessional email habits. You're very slow to respond to recruiters. Okay, they like your CV and they tell you you're invited for an interview. You just ghost them, or you withdraw without even accepting. You're slopping your response. You are disappearing without accepting the interview without notice. You just move, you disappear like that. It just shows us that you're very unprofessional. Okay, it shows that you're very unprofessional. If we accept your CV, we like what we see, we send you a mail, we say, oh, James, we're inviting you for an interview. Courtesy demands that you respond and say, thank you very much for choosing to select me for the interview. I'm confirming my availability for the interview. You don't just move like that and you assume that, oh, they should know that I'm joining. No, it shows me whether you're professional or not. I'm already scoring you. I'm already scoring. There are a lot of things that actually scores we don't know. So I'm already giving you my marks as it's going like that. Next is, I'm really trying to be fast here because if I dwell on this thing, we're going to sleep here today. Next is ATS optimization. Now, this is the main thing that filters all the CVs. Now, a lot of people don't really know what ATS, the ATS system is and all that. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there in a very short while. So this particular segment now is teaching you how to properly structure your CV, because companies now that use this ATS system have what they use in terms of this particular slide now that I put up as the 5 CV principles that win interviews. Most of these companies use this now, right, as a selecting pattern if they're going to choose you or not. Now, 5 CV principles that win interviews. The first one, lead with impact, not duty. I will explain. Now, in cases where you say, manage this, led the engineering departments, sold to clients. This actually explains how better to construct that statement. So you replace I was responsible for X with I achieved X, resulting in Y. Don't be confused yet. Don't worry. I'll give you a full CV for you to see where this falls into, you understand. So you're not just saying I manage this. You are adding your achievements. You're adding your responsibilities and the outcome of what those things you did actually achieved. Take note, you would also use numbers wherever possible. So probably say, oh, gained maybe 50% or 10% increase in staff recruitment, or in deliverables that were submitted, or projects that were delivered, blah, 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 blah. But you're explaining what you were responsible for, what you achieved, and what it resulted to. Don't be confused. I'm going to show you an example so you get to understand what it means. The second thing is tailor the top third. Now, understand something. Recruiters scheme, like I said, I can tell in 15 seconds if I actually want to continue reading the CV or not. We are very impatient people. We have a lot of CVs to go through, so I cannot dwell on one person's own just because, okay? So we are skimming, we're moving through it very fast, all right? So the first 1/3 of the CV has to have the summary and your most recent role. The first 1/3 of your CV, it needs to have the summary of what you have done. If you're saying you've worked for the past 5 years or the past 6 years, you need to have a summary of all that and your most recent role. Don't want to start with what you were doing in 2012 as the first thing I see. Meaning I have to start going down to 2026. We don't have that patience, so let me just tell you people now. Don't start with what you started in 1992. And then you expect I'll be going down till I get to know. We are not that patient, please. So you start with the summary and your most recent role, and it should mirror the language of the job description. So most of these job adverts that we put out there, they have job descriptions. You have to ensure that your CV has these job descriptions included in them. That's where tailoring comes in. So it's very important. As a matter of fact, you see CV formatting is a job on its own. Back in the days, I used to pay people to draft this whole CV thing for me. I paid 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 15,000 just to get this whole thing done, because it's a full-time job. Okay, especially when you're trying to tailor it, it's a full-time job. Because like I said earlier, you cannot give the same CV for a customer service job, for an operations manager job, for an HR job, electrical engineering job. It's for different roles. So you have to tailor it to match all these roles. So the job description that is given from the company that is hiring has to also be included in this CV. Don't say that one consign them. This is what I did in the former place that I worked, and I'm saying to them, they don't like I made them different. You have made my job very easy. You can not throw away your CV, and they'll move on to the next person who can actually take his time to tailor his CV appropriately. Okay. The third thing, one CV is not enough. Like I said, you can keep a master CV. I have a master CV. I have plenty CVs, as a matter of fact, because in this life we have looked for a job. So I have a master CV, okay? And from that master CV, I have all the things that I have done in this life, all the job experiences, all the places I have worked. I have them on that master CV. It is not from that master CV I use to tailor for different roles that I'm applying for. So let's say I worked in MTN as their customer service. I worked in Glo as their operations. I worked in Airtel as their HR. I want to now apply to Etisalat as their operations. Okay. So I will go back to my master CV. Okay. At what point did I actually work as an operations person? Okay. I think it's when I was working for MTN or when I was working for Glo. I tailor it. I bring that out. Okay. So this advert now in Etisalat is saying they need so and so and so. I will now take all the experience that I got and I will tailor it to match what they are asking for. Like I said, it's a full-time job, but if you want the job, you have to do it. Okay? Now keep it clean. 1 to 2 pages. Consistent formatting. No pictures. I don't honestly don't even know why people add pictures to CVs these days. Sometimes it's very funny. And I see pictures. Yeah, I know some sectors actually want, maybe tech people want photos, but honestly, your picture will not exactly make me like you or not. I don't get it. Really, you put your picture, it's not going to make me say I'm choosing you. It's not about your face. I like your face. Oh, very fine guy. Very, very, very fine girl, very fine boy. It's not fine girl and fine boy that will do the job. Okay, so please, it's not really necessary, except maybe that particular sector requires that you actually include your photo. Then fine. By all means, go and do photo shoots and add your picture to it is fine. Okay, but please keep it clean. 1 to 2 pages, consistent formatting, professional email added, phone number, and your location was very visible. The reason is because some roles are also location specific. Okay, I'm in Port Harcourt presently. I want to ensure that I'm hiring people that are around Port Harcourt, especially if my company does not offer accommodation. So if you're in Lagos, if you're in Lagos, I see in your CV that you're in Lagos. Already I'm like, this is going to be a problem because my company is not offering accommodation. Okay, so it also helps. So you want to ensure that you are adding your location to it because it also affects their decision making. Cut the irrelevance. All these hobbies and interests. I like reading, I like jumping, I like seeing movies, I like traveling. It's not necessary. It's only relevant for, like I said, particular companies. Maybe say, okay, probably somebody will be interested in your hobby or whatever. Me, I don't look at hobby and interest. It's not relevant to me. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. No need for primary school details. For the fact that you've actually gone to university, we are sure that you've actually gone to primary school. So it's not necessary. Just cut through the chase and go straight to the point. Give us the only relevant information that we need. All right. So these principles are very important. Lead with impact, tailor the top third. One CV is never enough. Keep it clean and cut the relevant. Don't worry. I'm going to do a sample evaluation for you guys so you'll be able to see what I mean by most of these things that I'm saying. Next, beating ATS, keyword and format. Now, for most companies that use the ATS software, before the human eyes see the CV passes through the ATS system. Now, what is this? What is this ATS? Now, the ATS is a software that scans, it sorts, and it scores CVs automatically. Okay, so many Nigerian candidates apply to roles at multinationals, banks, oil and gas companies, and NGOs that actually use the ATS, and they get screened out before anybody even reads a single word that they wrote. Okay, so the moment your CV is coming, is going straight to the ATS system and is filtering through. So they give the ATS specific information that the ATS system will actually use to filter through the CVs. Okay, so there are some very specific information that we need. So instead of me to start going through 10,000 CVs, going through 5,000 CVs, I tell the ATS system, I tell the software, this is what I need. Scan through with this particular skill, this particular experience, this particular information. Scan through it, and then the ATS will do all that, and before you know it, it gives probably out of like 10,000 CVs, probably would even give me only 2. Yes, it's that serious. Okay, so most organizations actually use this ATS system because that is what it helps the job. I can't be going through 10,000 CVs in a day. It's a whole lot. Okay, so when you submit a CV, as maybe as a scan, for example, if you send a CV as a scanned photo, as against sending it as a PDF or document, or a document, you send it as you just snap your CV and you send it. That the ATS system cannot read it. Okay. They used, let's say they are using tables, text box, columns, graphics. The ATS will format it. Okay, if the CVs do not contain exact keywords from the job description, like I said, it's just going to go through. So if on the job description, on the flyer now, they say, okay, this particular role is for, let me give a title name like People Champion, is for People Champion. Probably they now give the ATS system and say, also filter through for CVs or candidates that are People Champions. Brother, on your CV, you have to find a way and add People Champion inside. If not, if they include that into the ATS system, it's going to filter it out. If your own CV does not have People's Champion in it. Also, acronyms, abbreviations. If the ATS system is programmed to filter out, for example, like I put here now, CIHRM as against, no, I just use People Champion as example. Like, let's say the job description says People Champion. This role is for People Champion. And they include that to the ATS system. Okay, yeah, exactly. So they include that. The ATS system is going to pick that up and then filter through the CVs and look for candidates who have, in quote, People Champion in it. Do you understand? Okay, so that's why you have to read the job description clearly. Identify every skill, every tool, every qualification mentioned. So you have to study the flyer of the company very critically. You don't just see a company says, well, I'm mechanical engineer. Mechanical engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer. You just start typing your own. No, you go back and you check the qualification, the skills that they require, the tools. This thing is actually intentional because they are trying to save themselves the time and the energy of going through millions of CVs. Do you understand? So you actually need to know how you're doing all these things. Look at it very well, study it well, okay? Tailor your summary per application to echo the role's exact language. So it's very important that you actually really mirror what is being said or what is being placed in the flyer. Companies can be very tricky. Okay, companies can be very, very tricky. They know what they are doing. So there are specific things that they are putting here. If you are smart enough, you will pick it up and then you include it in your CV. Look for the things that they are light. Look for the things that they, in quotes, you know that they are saying as important. You have to include it to that. If not, it's just going to sieve you out and you will not be selected at all. All right. Now, formatting rules to avoid ATS rejection. Use a clean single column layout. Avoid tables, avoid text boxes, avoid graphics. There is no need to have tables, to have text boxes, to have graphics in your CV. Like I said, except it depends on the kind of company or organization you're actually applying to. As a graphics company, probably they would need graphics including your CV, yes. But for me now, I don't need graphics. I don't need tables. I don't need text boxes. So you have to look at this thing very critically because the ATS will definitely grab it and it will sieve it out, especially if it's not added to the ATS itself. Okay. Now, use standard section headings. Experience, education, skills, and certification. Very important. It's very critical that you add these things, these particular headings to your CV. Send your CV either as a document or a PDF. Don't send picture. Don't send your picture. The ATS is going to sieve it out. It's not going to accept it. So don't send pictures to it. Use standard fonts. Either use the Calibri, use Arial, use Times New Roman. Please don't go and look for all those design fonts and add to it. Most of these ATS are actually designed to sieve out most of these things. Okay, and never put contact details in the header or footer. Some ATS systems skip them entirely. I don't even see why you should be putting things in your header and your footer. You can't put your contact, you can't put your phone number in your header and footer now. Doesn't make any sense. You put that as part of the heading after your name. Let me not jump myself. You see that when I will share an example with you. Now, let's go to interview preparation and communicating with confidence. I would have shared the CV samples, but because of time, I'll just go through this. And then when I'm done, I will now share the CV so you can look through it. Okay, so let's say your CV has passed through the ATS successfully or passed through the recruiter successfully, and then they like what they see in the CV, and then they've said, okay, James is a good person, from his CV, it shows that he's very competent. Let's bring him in, okay? Good, so they invite you for an interview. There are some things that you actually need to understand about interviews too. Now, communication is very important. Preparation is very key. Confidence is not zero nerves. It's not I'm not having nerves. No, it's preparation strong enough that the nerves do not control you. It's normal to have nerve issues, normal for you to be anxious. That's a normal thing. But you need to ensure that your nerves do not control you. Okay? Now, before the CV, research the company. That's one question I always ask. Let me just give you one expo now. One question I always ask you in my interviews: what did you find out about the company? Don't tell me you just saw the flyer online and then you picked it up and you just, oh, I don't see company. Then you find customer care and then you send out CV. You don't have an idea what the company does. You don't know what they do. You don't even know if what you're applying for, you can even do it. So please research the company, find out the service that they offer, the values, recent news even. Okay. You can also research the interviewer if possible. If you see them on LinkedIn, you can just send them a message and say, hi, I recently applied for so and so role, and I see that you're part of the interviewers. I'm just trying to connect with you. Is there anything I can look out for? Now, you're not trying to get expo before the interview. You're just showing the interviewer that, oh, you have actually made extra effort by making research. Okay, so it's very important. Now, prepare a 1 or 2 star stories. Now, what is star? Situation, task, action, and results. Now, this is very important for common questions like, tell me about a challenge you overcame, or tell me about a time you worked under pressure. So you give us a situation, the task that you were given, the action you took, and what it resulted to. Don't start blabbing and saying what you don't understand, or don't go and formulate one story from somewhere. You just watch one movie and then the thing just came to your mind and say, I've gotten something, and then start giving us fables. Start stories, the situation, the task, the action, and the results that it produced. Very important, which is why you have to prepare very well. Also prepare 1 or 2 thoughtful questions to ask. This shows engagement and not desperation. I always ask, do you have any questions? Because I don't mind answering questions, but please don't ask, don't ask some dumb questions. I was in an interview of recent, I think when I was last week or so, and my boss was not having it. And then this guy asked, the question was off. And then my boss was like, excuse me, I think he asked if we offer training for something that did not relate to what we do as a company. My boss was like, do you actually research what we do? The person said, yes, we did. He said, so why are you asking that question? My boss was not trying to be mean or anything, but the truth matter is that, see, we can't waste our time, okay? There's sometimes that you can actually meet people that are not really having a good day, and then you want to start asking me dumb questions. See, just save yourself the stress. Ask very, very smart questions. Ask questions, no problem, but please think before you ask the question. You can ask about payments, no problem, but use wisdom in asking your question. Okay, because you don't want to ask a question that will actually trigger the person that you're asking. It will make you lose favor. All right. Now, during the interview, confidence is communicated through your pace, your posture, your pauses. I will add your smell. I did not add this one. Your smell. Let me add this part now for physical interviews. Please, when you are going for a physical interview, please bath. You people are laughing. It's not funny. Like, I have had somebody come in for an interview. Jesus, we had to open the windows because this person was oozing. Already, you've already thrown me off. Like, I don't even want to hear what you have to say again, because how in the world do you just step into my office and then everywhere is smelling? See, you've already told me I cannot hire you. So even when you want to, even if you know the job and I'm that petty, see, I've lost interest. Like, guy, see, just be going. So please, yeah, confidence, no problem, be confident, but please be confident with nice scent and nice smell. Yeah, please, it's very important. Be confident with your posture. If they don't tell you to sit down, don't sit down. And then when you sit down, please sit down with, it's where you sit. Sit with poise. Don't just sit down, you're crossing leg. You sit down, you just open, See, you have to learn some kind of things when you're going to some places. It's very important. There are some people, some recruiters can be very petty. In order to try and save themselves stress, there are some things they look out for that even you'll be like, why are you even looking at it? I've heard of an interviewer that tested the candidates by putting them in a dirty office. And then they were trying to test. Oh, they tried to test self. I think they were trying to test how the candidates pay attention to detail. So they put them in an office that was littered with, I think, nylons and stuff. And then they were watching. They had a camera in the office and they were watching somewhere else. And they wanted to see who would actually do something about that situation. And then the people that actually came in and they saw the place was dirty and picked up stuff were the ones that they chose. Now, please tell me if this is important. So I don't know, but to that recruiter, that was their own tactics. That was their own way of selection. You know, like I said, some recruiters can be very funny. They are trying to save themselves stress. So the first person that comes and picks dirty from the floor is the one I'll choose. See, some people can be like that, but just try and show that you are wise about what you do. You pay attention to your environment. It's very important. Okay. Pause to think. I love people that are very honest during interviews. Don't just blab with confidence and you're just talking and you're talking foolishness with confidence. Just calm down first. When they ask you a question, it's okay to pause and think. Okay, silence is not weakness, it's actually a strength. You can pause for a bit and say, okay, sorry, sir, I actually do not know the answer to that question. I don't know that. See, the way I will respect you, I respect people that say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question. No problem. Rather than now telling me, forming one thing in your head and you're talking nonsense. See, there are a lot of things that piss people off. You don't know the kind of day I've had, and then you're coming here to come and talk what I don't understand. So please think before you talk. Okay, it's very important. Think. Ensure that you're actually thinking before you're talking. For virtual interviews, test your mic, test your video, dress appropriately too. Yes, for virtual interviews, dress appropriately also. Don't say because it's a virtual interview, you now wear t-shirts or the buttons of the shirt is open. We're not seeing your singlet inside. We actually score for appearance too. Yes, we score for appearance too. So even if it's boxer you're wearing under and you wear suit on top, my brother, show up like that. It's the suit and tie that we are seeing up. We're not seeing what's under. Let's just see, because people are moved by what they see. Okay, so just let us see you. We have seen you. Okay, this person looks good. I mark you. Rather than they fail you because you're wearing, especially when it's these companies that look out for their professionalism is something else. It's very important. Okay, so yes, be well dressed during a virtual interview. Good lighting also. And another thing, let me give a very short story. So something happened 2 weeks ago. We're trying to interview for a particular role. And then the person said he had 13 years experience. So we're like, okay, this person has 13 years experience. Probably would make sense. So it was a virtual interview. And then my boss asked a technical question. The next thing we had was, this AI response that says, AI response that gives definition. Let's say define what is a laptop. We say, okay, excuse me, can you define what a laptop is? Next thing we heard, AI is. A laptop is a device that is used for communication. Or we pause, like, what just happened? This guy was using AI to answer the question. We both paused, like, I looked at my boss looked at me. We say, okay, no problem. Ask him on that question. The guy was reading, so confidence shows in pace and posture, not volume. Bros, are you kidding? Hey, Jesus, I almost fell down with laughter that day. Thank God I was doing, my video was not on. What? The guy was reading. Now, we did not say don't go and get information and you can't have like notes beside you when you're having these virtual interviews. No, it's good to have them. But don't read verbatim. Don't read word for word. Don't let the AI be shouting, talking. Exactly. Thank you. Be natural during interviews. If you don't know it, say you don't know it. So my boss was very pissed. He now asked him a question that did not require AI. He asked him a question about his experience. Now, there, my guy don't lost. The guy went mute. He started saying, sir, please, can you answer a question again? My boss just said, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And he cut the call. Because it was over that the 13 years experience that you say you have, you can't even throw for it because obviously you don't know what you're doing. All right. So please, when you're applying for a role, when you get the interview, please know what you are there for. Don't go and start applying for a job that you have no business applying for. If you're not an engineer, you have no business applying for engineering. Don't go and apply for engineering. I don't even know how Nigerians do this thing. You know you have zero experience. My God will do it for me. See, don't try your luck. Even God said it. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Don't just go and fool yourself. You don't know it, it's fine. I prefer honesty than you just going and then you are blabbing. Please take notes. Also look at your camera, not just the screen. Okay, because it will show that we know if you're actually reading something or if you're actually following us and you're trying to get information. You can quickly go and type in ChatGPT for, what's the meaning of instrumentation, that kind of thing. We can tell. All right, so please, this is very important. All right, so I have come to the end of this segment. I will be going straight to the CV review demonstration. Okay, now, like I said, I have a lot of CVs that come my way, right? And I had to pick out two, one good, one bad. Because yes, one was good, one was bad. All right. So this is a CV that someone, please bear with me because I had to hide the person's name and all that. So they don't go and come and see, go and sue my life. So I had to hide some things. But now look at this CV. Just look at this. This is a CV. I had to, these blank spaces were filled with something. I had to take out information. Look through the CV. I'm not seeing any, yes, medical, I'm not seeing any experience. Like there is nothing. There's no experience, no formatting. What is it even tailored for? No clarity, no. I'm like, when I saw this, I was like, Jesus. Yeah, so shoe size, overalls, even cloth size. You say height, the height and the weight. I didn't formulate this CV. I got this CV from someone who applied for a job. I mean, how am I even? Please, let me just save myself the stress and go straight to the good CV. Now look at the CV. Let's look at the format first. Okay, you can tell the difference, right? Now, let's go into detail. First of all, this part that has A and E was the person's name. I had to remove the name. So the person added, it's not clear. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in well. Does this help? Okay, good. So this first part is the person's name. This other part is the person's state, Nigeria, phone number, email. Yes. So when I said, remember the part I said, the headings. Okay. So the person's name is up, the person's location, the person's phone number, the person's email. Perfect. We have achieved that first stage. Now, professional summary. So this particular person was trying to get an instrumentation role. So my company was hiring for an instrumentation design role. Now, let me read what this person said. Professional summary. Highly analytical, performance-driven graduates and analytical profession. Okay, I cut out something, so I didn't show you that part here. Seeking to leverage a robust foundation in experimental laboratory instrumentation, electronics, and mathematical modeling within the 2026 World Energy Graduate Trainee Program, focused on instrumentation design engineering. My company is World Energy. We're trying to get graduate trainees for instrumentation design engineering. So this person just tailored this summary based on the job description. Can you see that? Highly skilled at processing complex quantitative data sets, interpreting system diagrams, and executing rigorous problem-solving frameworks. Combines over 3 years of accelerated corporate growth in banking sector, managing multi-billion naira portfolios, blah, 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 blah. But you can see that if I was using an ATM system now, ATS system, my ATS system would have actually accepted this. Number one, there is World Energy. Number two, there is graduate trainee program. Can you see? Number three, there is instrumentation design engineering. Do you get? So the person actually really studied what we put up as the role we're looking for and use that as the summary. Can you see that? Now, remember, I talked about the heading, the first heading. I also talked about the summary. Now we're looking at skills. So look at the skills: core technical and special skills, instrumentation and systems, calibration principles, circuit analysis. If you check, I don't have our flyer, but most of these things that are here, we actually imputed them in our flyer. Okay, so the person actually really took his time to go through everything. The person even went as much as going into our website to check that, okay, the project that these people actually are involved in, what are they, so that I can actually add some of my skills and say, okay, I have some skills in most of these things that they work with. So this person really did a very good job by doing research on my company. Professional experience. Now, about the part I talked about managing with, that I said instead of putting manage with X and all that, where I said replace responsible for X with achieve X resulting in Y. Right. Now let's look at this. He said managed, the person worked at, let me say the person worked at MTN Nigeria. He said manage a complex portfolio of 2,500 retail and corporate clients, tracking a 2.5 billion naira deposit base and verifying structural parameters for 500 million naira in disbursements. Can you see that? So he didn't just put I manage portfolio. He put I achieved this, right? Resulting in this, even added numbers. Can you see that? Next one, he said utilize rigorous data-driven evaluation methodologies and verification workflows to assess the operational health and risk tolerance of commercial corporate systems. So he basically was telling you, okay, I did this, and this is what the result was. See the third thing: designed and executed an optimized client processing system that managed systemic friction points and enhanced operational retention metrics by 35%. So remember when I also talked about percentage numbers. So it's very important. You have to tell us what, first of all, what you achieved by that responsibility that you did and what it resulted to. So you don't just put manage 5,000 people, got 5,000 clients. No. Is it work? Yes, it's work. It's very serious work. You have to be very detailed about this thing. Do we read through it? Yes, we read through it. The ATS system will actually, it will actually filter through it, especially when you have keywords. When you have keywords involved in this thing, you definitely filter through it. Now look at the education and qualification. Also very important. I think he actually added this, I think it was a BSc or so in a particular course, which I removed. Relevant coursework for instrumentation. What we're hiring is for instrumentation. So imagine relevant coursework for English. Are we hiring for an English teacher? No, we're hiring for an instrumentation design engineer. So everything that this person is putting here is for instrumentation, electrical, electronics, electromagnetism. Perfect. Okay, now he even added something there. He said key career achievement, top regional performance, consistently outpaced higher institutional targets, resulting in formal validation as the premier relationship manager, blah, 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 blah. But you can understand and see that this person actually knew what he was doing. And please, if you need to use AI, to use them, I don't know anything that you're saying here, AI does not help. It will help, but you just have to be creative enough about how you're constructing your prompts that will give you very good outcome. Okay, most of us do not really know how to use the prompt engineering of majority of these AI tools. We don't know. Your own is I need CV. ChatGPT, give me CV. That's all. You go and sit down. No, you have to know how to handle this prompt engineering. Go and learn prompt engineering very well, because AI is here to stay. Anybody that is casting and buying against AI, you're wasting your time. AI is here to stay. You just need to know how to handle it, know how to manage it well. Okay, so it's very important, right? There are some things that we think are not necessary. Trust me, they're very necessary. Getting a very good CV is serious work, but you have to do it. All right. So please note, recruitment is not a lottery. It's a process you can understand once you understand it. You can prepare for it deliberately instead of hoping for luck. It's very important. You can prepare for it rather than just, oh, I hope for the best. Oh, you can actually prepare it. You can actually prepare for it. Okay. So please try and be the candidate who makes the recruiter's job easy. Make our jobs easy. Okay. Make our jobs easy. Please don't stress anybody by giving us all if you give me this other type of CV. See, oh God have mercy. Please try and be that candidate that every recruiter actually wants to work with. All right. Yes, my time is fast spent. I think I'm already done. Okay. Thank you very, very much. I am done with my presentation. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you very, very, very much on behalf of everyone, on behalf of the people on top of the program this evening. We are saying thank you to you, Mrs. Faith Igbanoi. Thank you very much for that wonderful expository. I hope each and every one of us can say we've been impacted in the same way that I am. So we want to say thank you once again for that wonderful opportunity. We are really, really grateful. The next agenda on our item this evening is the question and answer section. And a lot of questions that we placed in our chat, but I will try to take them. I will ask them. Mrs. Faith, are you still with us?
Yes,
Hello?
I'm here.
All right, great. I will ask the question so that you can give us your adequate response. Is that okay by you?
Yes, it's fine.
All right. The first question, let me try and project my screen. Hello? Please, I need confirmations that we can all see my screen.
Yes, please.
Yes, we can see your screen tonight.
All right, great. Mr. Ekong asks that. He says, state why we should be, okay. Is there still a need for you to state why you should be hired on CVs and application letter? I think his question is trying to ask, how should we state why we should be hired on the CV applications?
Okay, that's for cover letters, right? Yes, so it's also important because, like I said, so most recruiters, every recruiter actually has their own different ways of handling their screening process. Okay, so your cover letter would actually tell me what is in your CV. There's sometimes I've actually looked at the cover letter without looking at the CV. So there was actually a time I looked at the cover letter, the person explained everything I wanted to hear And that person, I think it was the same person that sent this interesting CV. The person actually summarized everything that was, he tailored the job description from the flyer, right, to his, what's it called, to his cover letter. So he explained everything that we wanted and everything that he does, and it actually matched. Do you understand? So say I was looking for an instrumentation engineer. The person actually told me I studied, my name is so and so and so. I studied electrical electronics, blah, blah, blah. I have like 1 year experience in instrumentation. I have been doing this and this and this and this. From my research from your company, I'm sure that I can be able to offer value regarding blah, 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 blah. I added the person's CV straight up. Do you understand? So cover letter is actually very important because cover letter is like a summary of what is already in your CV. So yes, you include it in your cover letter, you also include it in your CV.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Another question from Ghania to Budijo is, can you please talk about how to tailor one CV for a role that one has no experience in? Is that even right?
I'm glad you asked that question. So, okay. 2 weeks ago, I actually had someone like that. So the person actually tailored his CV, right? So the thing now is that tailoring can actually get you the interview. So you have tailored, and then in your CV, you have shown us that, oh, you can do so and so. We are waiting for you in the interview. It was not during the interview that we now saw that this person actually does not have any experience. And the truth of the matter is that if the role is for an experienced person, we can't take you. Okay, so honestly, it's not really smart to really apply for a role you don't have experience in. Except maybe you have done something in the past that could possibly relate to that. There is a very smart way you can actually answer a question that the recruiter will say, oh, I think this person we can actually take this person based on how this person answered this question. The person might not have the experience, but he's somebody that has potential and we can actually work on the person. Do you understand? So it will not depend on you to defend your case. So if you find a way and tailor it and you form one thing and you say, oh, you have blah, 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 blah experience and put it in your CV, no problem. We are waiting for you in the interview room because that is where everybody will now know whether you are experienced or not. But I don't really advise you to just tailor in the sake of tailoring, you're just tailoring because you're trying to get a job. No, I don't really advise that.
All right, thank you very much for that. Shah said is asking, will the slides be made available? The materials you use, is there a chance that we'll be getting it after the program?
Certainly, if you need it, I can send it.
All right, thank you very much. Another question is from Gania to Budijo again. He's saying, talking about the layout of the CV, can I use one template found on Canva? I use Canva template. Is that right, please?
So it depends on how you use Canva. It depends on how you use the Canva templates. Okay, so like I said, most people you pack information, you drop on certain softwares, and then you move on. No, you can actually make some arrangements on that Canva template that can actually suit what the recruiter is looking for. So it's not really about the template. It's about what you put in, what you format with the template. So if you format the right information, you include the right information with everything that I have said, how you arrange everything, you don't include graphics, you don't include text boxes, you don't include tables and all that, and the Canva template actually matches what the company is looking for, definitely, it's good to go. It just depends on how you can handle it. Do you understand? So it's not just to go to Canva and just say, looking for CV templates, and then and the template has a flower or love and all those things, and the main information doesn't make sense. No, it's not going to work. So you can actually use Canva templates, but it just depends on how you format it.
All right, thank you very much. Another question from Mr. Ekong. He said, I and my friend applied for a particular role in the same company, same qualification and certification, but unfortunately he was big and I wasn't. Until today, I don't know why I was not selected. Please, what should be the cause? What could be the cause in this situation?
I don't know. I'm not the recruiter that interviewed people. I don't know. So is it that you guys submitted? Did you get to the interview level? It could be that there was something in your CV that your friend did right and you didn't do right. I don't know what you sent. So I'm not seeing your CV. I'm not seeing your friend's CV. I can't tell. And if you actually made it to the interview session, your friend probably might have done better, might have did better than you did. I don't know. Probably you didn't say the right things. Your attitude was not right. You might actually believe in yourself and say, oh, I did well, I did right. But maybe you actually did not please the recruiters. You never can tell. So there's possibly something that your friend did that you didn't do. You understand? It's not really about getting, even if you have first class, your friend has first class, you have this, your friend has the same thing, you are twins, you are Siamese twins, you probably will still not get the same outcome because probably there was something different about the both of you. So that's what I can say because I don't really know the full details of what this was.
All right, thank you, Mark. For Mr. Abraham Ugeshi that is asking for recordings, the recordings will be made available after the program. Another question from Mr. Charles Eddie Diong is, what is a walk-in interview?
Walk-in interview. Basically, you're talking about a physical interview? I don't know. Depends. A walk-in interview could mean a physical interview. It depends on the context. So I think that's a little vague, but a walk-in interview can actually mean a physical one, or it depends on how they put it. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ma. Another one from Isaac George. For someone applying for a graduate training role, what are the exact skill sets that the HR is looking out for?
You will see it in the flyer.
Graduate training.
You will see it in the flyer. Trust me, all the information you need, the skill sets, the responsibility, the qualification, whether you have done, some companies ask for if you've done NYSC or not, you will see all that in the flyer, which is why I said you have to look at the flyer very well. Some people just see application for, or we are hiring, and then you just send CV. You don't even read through whether you are hiring for an engineer, not an engineer, you don't know, you just send CV. You have to look at the flyer very well. All the information you need is on that flyer. You just need to read. That's all. So the skills, the responsibilities, everything you possibly need is on that flyer. Just look at it and then put it there.
All right, thank you, Ma. Another one from Israel Jimson is saying, for those abroad, I heard severally that if you don't have up to a decade experience, that make the resume one page. How can we structure 8 years experience with various volunteering experience into one page? How do you compile your experiences?
How do you compile 8 years experience into one page? You go and find out to summarize all that information. So the thing is that I know I mentioned that you don't need to add all the experiences, right? Which is what it is. Now, you might have 20 years experience, but you might not have 20 years experience in that particular role that the company is looking for. Do you understand? So probably in 1992, you were a chef. From 1992 till 1996, you were a chef. From 1996 to 2000, you were a driver. From 2000 to 2005, you were in customer service. From 2005 to 2010, you were something else. You have to find out from the company what are you actually applying for. Those are the relevant experiences that you should include in the CV, not all your experiences. Not all the experiences that you have had, both volunteering, yes, volunteering is very important too, but not only volunteering, all the experience, like the right ones, the ones that are necessary. Okay, so you can't put all the experience you've had for 30 years in one CV. No, tailor it appropriately to what the company is requesting for. Okay, so it's not really about compiling 8 years or 12 years experience into one page. It's about bringing in the relevant experience. That's what it is. the relevant experience and the right tailoring of what the job description is. That is what is important.
All right, thank you very much, man. Another one from Charles Edidiong. How can a graduate get a PPA placement? I think this is for NYC in a company that doesn't issue request letter.
Well, I can't answer for the company, so it depends on that particular company, right? For my own company, we offer request letter. So if the company does not issue request letter, it depends on the company. I don't know how different companies have their own different ways of doing it. So my own company, you need a request letter. I can give you that, and then you give to your PPA, you give to your LGI, right? And do all that. That is if we say, okay, for certain reasons, anyways, for certain reasons that we say we actually want you into the company, we can give you a request letter to give to your LGI. But I don't know how I don't know how majority of the companies do their own. Everybody has different ways of handling NYSC applications and stuff.
All right, thank you very much, man. The last question, not to keep us waiting on the program tonight because we're running out of time, from Anna Umba. If a job post doesn't request for cover letter, is it advisable to send it?
If they don't request for request letter, you can still send it if you want to, if it has the right information. Remember what I said about the cover letter, right? That your cover letter has to be as important as has to be as relevant as your CV. So your cover letter has the summary of everything that is your CV in there. So if the company does not ask for it, you can decide not to send it. It doesn't matter since they didn't ask for it. But if you still choose to send it, you can send it, but please ensure that what you're sending is relevant. Ensure that what you're sending is actually a summary of what is in your CV. Okay, so don't just send for sending's sake. If the company actually says don't send cover letter, you say obey and don't send the cover letter. So it's a two-way thing. You can send if they ask for it, you can say they don't ask for it, but ensure that what you're sending is relevant. That's basically it.
All right, that will be the size of our question and answer section. Thank you very, 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 very much, Ma, for your attention. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity to be in our midst this evening. Thank you for the exposition. We at Cable and on behalf of everyone in the program, we are saying thank you so much. And we hope next time when we call on you, you'll be open to coming into our midst, ma'am.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Hello, are you still on the call?
Yes, I said definitely. Definitely, I will.
All right. Moving to the next. All right. Thank you very much, ma. So moving to the next item on our program is the announcement section. Before I step aside for the announcement section to be taken by Mr. Femi, the other question that are yet to be responded to, and if we have other questions that is bothering us, we can just input the question and our email. We forward your questions to her, and then the feedback that we get from her, we'll probably send it to you through your email. I will have to step aside now for the director of the career and professional team, Mr. Femi. Mr. Femi, are you still on the program with us? Mr. Femi.
Yes, I am, Timothy. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mr. Femi, are you still on the program with us? All right, we have to step aside.
Yes. Yes, confirm you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. First off, I would like us to appreciate Miss Faith for real. Like, let's appreciate her. I would with our favorite emojis in the chat box. Let's appreciate her for real, please. When we reached out to her about this, we knew she had a lot on her plate, and the timing was not even favorable for her. And she told us she would make time out for us, and she kept to her word too. That really means a lot to us in Capo. And then even after that, she came down and broke everything down so well for us, like stuff that could be very confusing. She simplified everything for us. And honestly speaking, I'm sure that a lot of us on this call today, we are going to be living with a clearer idea of what we need to do with our CVs going forward. And for us in Cable, that is really our joy. Even if one person on this call ends up, landing those their dream jobs because of something they picked up today, that's the whole reason we do this. And to be honest, there's no amount of appreciation we can say that will ever be enough for what you've dished out to us tonight. So we really appreciate it. On behalf of the entire Cable team, we say thank you so much, Ma. We say thank you so much. Before we go ahead, just a few announcements. So for the materials used in the presentation, for as many of us that registered for the event, we'll be sharing it with us via our emails. And for anyone else who also needs access to those materials, you could follow us via our social media platforms, which if you look at the chat box now, we are sharing it there. So you could also take a few minutes to try to follow us on all our social media platforms. We are on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, on Facebook, and we have an official website, which is www.simcable.org. So you could always follow us on our social media platforms from there. So, and for all upcoming events that we have, you will be part of the first few persons who will have access to them. So just to go deep into the announcement, firstly, is to let us know that this is just like the first episode for our technical series this year. There are still other episodes that are going to be coming in the coming months. We still have an AI conference that is scheduled for in the next few months. So I would just implore each and every one of us to keep tabs on our social media platforms and keep an eye out for that. Then secondly, for many of us that we are familiar with the Cable brand, we know that there are several events that we've been doing every year, and one of it is the Cable annual GRE scholarship, so of which by the special grace of God, we should still be having that particular scheme coming up again this particular year. So at Cable, in as much as we are intentional about professional development of young professionals, of recent graduates, youths and all of that, we are also well invested in people's academic growth as well. And this is something we've been doing every year. And this year's edition is obviously going to come too. So I would want us to be on the lookout for that. And lastly, amazingly, for this particular session, for some of the registered participants, we had people who were even, they are presently in their undergraduate education level. So for people like that as well, we have something that is coming, which we call Cable Clubs. Yes, Cable Clubs, and it's open to undergraduate students. And the major idea is just if you are in school right now and you think you can actually represent Cable in your institutions, it will be a good platform for you to showcase your skills. So through the club, you get access to leadership training, mentorship, networking, and you even get to work on community impact projects. So if that sounds like something that maybe something that appeals to you, or you have a friend or a brother, a sister who is doing his undergraduate education presently, and you feel those things will be good for them. So we'll be sharing more info on that on our social media platforms going forward. So that's majorly what we have for now. Again, let's keep tabs on our social media platforms so that the moment we are having these impactful projects and events, we can always be a part of them. So officially, this will bring us to the end of the CV workshop for for today. I want to believe that we will be seeing in the upcoming sessions. But before we go, there is something I would want each and every one of us to do. I would really appreciate if we could take 20 seconds to do that. For as many that could turn on their cameras, we would appreciate if you can, so we could just take a general picture, please. Just a moment. It's something that it wouldn't take too much of our time, please. I'm still waiting for this. Let's turn on our cameras. Let's see our beautiful faces, and we take the picture. And yeah, I am still waiting for also. Can we all hear me, please? Can we hear me? Yes. For as many that could turn up, that can show their faces, please, let's do that so we can take the picture. All right. I think I've taken it. Mr. Timothy, over to you, please.
All right. Thank you very, very much for that announcement. And on behalf of the founder of Cable Organization, Mr. Emmanuel Obasi, on behalf of the director of the Career and Professional Development Team, Mr. Femi, on behalf of all the leaders of departments within the Cable Organization, on behalf of every other ambassador of the Cable Organization, we are saying thank you to everyone for making it a point of duty to be with us this evening. Until next time, when we shall meet again, may God keep you. Goodbye and good night.